Severino himself, I think, went what 8 innings and
Uh,
one
no, it
earned.
wasn't that much. I think he only went six or seven. He might have pitched into the seventh.
I'm gonna have to look it up later. But I mean, it's the same Metsian thing as always. This past series and everything like that. It's good starting pitching. Our bats, they haven't gotten back from vacation yet,
No, not yet.
and the bullpen stinks.
Well, that we knew. Sever, yeah, he only threw six.
Oh, okay. So I was picturing something a lot more dominant last time.
Well, I mean, he didn't give up any. He threw a, you know, shutout ball for 6 innings. He was good, but it was only six.
Oh, all right, keep going. I gotta find a charger. Hold on. Uh,
Going with what? I don't know. The Mets have,
the Mets. Talk about the Mets.
they've come out of the break a little, a little rusty. Most of, pretty much all the guys had 4 days off, and four days off in a row when you're used to playing, every day it's gonna throw some things off.
Didn't
Um,
really seem to bother the Marlins that they had 4 days off. But
well,
honestly, you know what? I'm being a bad fan because we said in the beginning of July during our last episode, or perhaps it was the episode before that. I know we only did two in July so far, but we said in the beginning of July if we could come up winning most of these series, then we're gonna come out of July looking like a playoff team. And guess what? We won most of these series
yeah.
against really beatable teams, like we said we were going to.
Mhm.
And we are firmly in that wild card race, man. And we're buyers. We are officially buyers now. It's the GM came out and said it. Everybody around the Mets is looking for more bullpen help and everything like that. So we're in. We're buyers.
Yeah. Obviously, to what extent that is going to mean. Obviously, we know we need bullpen help. Everybody always needs bullpen help. Um, Obviously, I don't think they're going to be, to the point of buyers where they're going to be giving up their top prospects and stuff like that. I think they're going to be searching for those kind of the the sneaky trades of like give up some lower level prospects, or maybe what they've done so far. A couple guys, like they got Phil Maton for cash. Like
Right.
they're going to be looking for like those types of moves, but at the same time, you never know. Maybe a big splash comes somewhere. Who knows?
Hey man, just
Obviously,
Jose
you would think if
Iglesias.
the deal is right and it's not going to cost us any of those, top prospects, unless if the Mets do trade one of those top prospects, maybe it'll end up being because, oh well, we weren't really seeing him the way the old regime who traded for him saw him. We didn't see the same things. We didn't really like the way he looked, but yeah, who knows? We'll have to see.
I think that I'm with you on that. I think the only way that we trade a top prospect is if we have an answer, a long-term answer for a problem that we know that we have.
Hmm.
Get us something to fill out the bullpen a little bit. Get a long-term guy to fill out that bullpen a little bit. Get a starter that it may not be an ace or something like that, but a two or three guy that could get you a good solid 6 innings or something like that. That
Yeah.
is something that I think that would be worth trading one of our top prospects for, especially since our windows kind of looks like it's moved up to now this year and a half, right?
Hmm.
I mean, that's what it is. 2025 has always been our
Yeah.
year.
Yep.
So now that the window's expanded open a little bit and we're okay with going all in and everybody's all on board with going all in, then let's get some real answers here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Long-term
Exactly.
answers.
Yeah. So like I said, yeah, if the deal's right, and again, maybe David Stearns and his people. Obviously, I'm sure they've been looking at all the prospects all year, seeing how they're doing and what they like. And, because again, a lot of the Mets top prospects are guys that they traded for in the last couple of years. And that was not David Stearns. That was the regime before David Stearns.
Right.
And you never know if he's going to have a different view on somebody, or maybe, see something different than somebody else did, and maybe he likes it, maybe he doesn't. But yeah, I think you definitely hit it. Is it for this year at the very least? You're not looking for a quick fix. You're looking for like a long term somebody that's going to be there, for a few years in the future, not just like, oh, we're definitely contending for a championship this year. Let's go get some rental veterans that are going to help us now. You want somebody maybe a little bit younger that's like, okay, he's going to help us get into that wild card this year, but also help us improve over the next couple of years.
Yeah, give me somebody who's got the Mets in mind for at least a good 3 years. They want to
Yeah.
stay in teams for 3 years. Give me that,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Especially like I said, somebody who could pitch, because you were talking about guys that aren't on the radar that might catch fire with us and everything like that. I mean, you only have to look at our team now to see we've got guys like that. I
Yeah.
mean, Iglesias came out of fucking nowhere. He was going to go into music, you know?
Which is blasphemous because the guy throughout his whole career, the dude's like a 280 hitter, and he's always been a Gold Glove caliber defender.
Yeah, I
Which
don't know why he
makes
hasn't caught.
absolutely no sense that the Mets literally like plucked him from the depths of like near retirement.
I actually kind of want to do like a little bit of a long form essay on that. See, get into Jose Iglesias's career because he has these numbers
Yeah,
and he just never catches on. And not only never catches on to a team, whereas he doesn't stay very long, but he's in the minors a lot too.
I know. Yeah,
So I gotta research into it a little bit more.
I
I
mean,
want to see the story on that.
this is a guy who was an All Star in 2015.
Yeah,
He's like a career. I think like 280 hitters somewhere in that range. You just got to look at his highlights to know like if this dude had ever been like a full time player, he's a Gold Glove caliber finalist, like easily. This man is a magician with the glove, and the fact that like okay, I know he's into his 30s at this point, but yeah, look what he's doing with the Mets right now.
yeah.
He's gotten his second life. He's playing the defense everybody knew he was capable of, and he's currently hitting almost 400
Which is insane.
in
He has
like
an over 500
100 at
batting
bats.
average.
I know it's only like 100 at bats, so it's a little bit of a smaller sample size. But still, the dude's just smacking line drives all over the place and getting on base.
Over 500 batting average with runners in scoring position as
Yeah,
of yesterday. So I mean, 100 at bats is all I need for that. That's plenty of games won. You know what I'm saying?
the fact that he was saying like, yeah, I was sitting around all of 2023 and the phone never rang. It is absolutely inconceivable.
So look out for that, people who follow us. I definitely might be dropping a long form essay on that. I
Yeah.
want to see some background on this. But I mean, not only just Jose Iglesias, who seemingly came from nowhere and just started raking on the Mets. I mean, look at Luis Torrens,
Yeah.
JD and DJ, who I constantly mix up their last names. They're the
JD
same person.
Martinez.
No, they're the same person. I think that
No,
yeah, no, I think it's kind of like the Jalen Brown thing over in uh Oklahoma City.
you mean Jalen Williams?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. I got baseball on the mind. But yeah, it's the Jalen Williams thing in OKC. His very specific superpower is morphing into two people so that he can
It's really not. They they look starkly different. One's a righty, one's a lefty.
But they're both underperforming, you know what I'm
No,
saying?
I mean JD Martinez is going through a bit of a lull right now, but
Yeah.
he's not underperforming. Like I think he's still hitting 260. He's knocked in I think 30 or 40 runs so far this year in about. And again, JD Martinez, a guy they didn't sign until late. He didn't actually start playing with the Mets until like the end of May. So it's again, you've only had about a month and a half of season from him. I'm telling you, wait another like maybe a couple weeks. Wait until he gets through this lull. I could see him hitting a hot streak in like August and September, and by the end of the season, he could have 15 to 20 home runs and 70 runs knocked in, like 70 RBI, 60, 70, somewhere in that for like 3/4 of a season.
And a deep playoff push.
Yeah.
Let's go Mets. Let's fucking go.
So yeah, we'll see. Obviously, the other couple things that I've been talking about a lot over the last few episodes. Why the hell is DJ Stewart still on this fucking team?
Dude,
Uh,
it's blowing my mind, man. It's almost every time he goes up to plate now, I get this
I
Pavlovian
know,
response
yeah.
where, oh, that's an out.
Oh,
So
there comes an out. And then when he does get a hit, I'm like, oh, that was a fluke.
yeah, can't even be happy for it. It's like, man, this stuff is something great. No, it was a fluke.
No,
It was
that
definitely
was a
a
fluke. This
fluke.
dude's hitting like a buck 70 on the season.
Jeepers creepers,
They
man.
kept they kept him on the roster because he did really well at the end of the year. They knew he's apparently has the potential, to have some pop and hit some home runs. He has not done that. And on top of it all, Starling Marte's been injured. I believe I've been hearing some stirrings and some rumors that he could be ready to return somewhat soon. But you put DJ Stewart in the outfield, and he is just he's horrible.
Yeah.
Like granted, he's a professional baseball player who has played the outfield, so it's not like he's just gonna go up there and drop simple papa. But like anything that he's really got to run for, he's not gonna get to it.
He
He
doesn't have the
doesn't
speed
really
for
have
it.
the foot speed and the
Yeah.
agility to get to those balls in the gap or like chase stuff down, by the foul line. So it's like, yeah, he's gonna catch the stuff that kind of like comes right to him, but other than that, he's kind of a liability out in the outfield.
And that's kind of what we've been seeing now. I think that our skipper's been catching on to that a little bit because the
Yeah.
last few times I've seen him was in a DH or pinch hit situation. So
Hmm.
like I haven't really seen him in the outfield that much recently.
Yeah. I mean, he's played the outfield a couple times against the Marlins, but I think that's just because, for, situational reasons. Obviously, Tyrone Taylor, another guy we have on the bench, isn't really hitting that much
Pretty
either.
streaky. Let's give him
Yeah,
that.
he's a very streaky hitter, but at the very least, he's by far very much a plus defender in the outfield.
Absolutely.
Like I will give him that. He's got plenty of speed. He will track down fly balls that you don't think he's going to. So I like having him on the bench as that, kind of fourth outfielder. But DJ Stewart, just kind of having him there is like he's really only playing right now in the outfield because Starling Marte is injured. And the only other reason he's really there is he's supposed to provide some pop from the left-handed side of the plate, which he is not.
Yeah, I
So
think at this
I
point I don't even know why they're not calling somebody up from AAA or something like
yeah,
that.
and
I
sending him
understand.
down or something.
And I understand his trade value is absolute garbage at this point. Nobody's going to want him. We're going to probably have to unload him for cash to some team
Yeah,
that's truly, truly desperate. Missed out
or just
all the big names.
or they might end up having to just DFA him and say sorry, it didn't work out. See you
It
later.
did not.
You know. But yeah, I don't know, and it's kind of that same circumstance with McNeil, where it almost kind of seems like he's starting to finally fight out of this like year and a half long slump because
I
he
I wanted to say about McNeil, like because we've been really hard on him on this podcast,
yeah,
but I want to say the last 2 or 3 times that we recorded were coincidentally like the last 2 or 3 games that I watched, McNeil was kind of raking a little
yeah,
bit.
he
He
hit a
was kind of
couple home
raking a
runs
little
the other
bit.
night. He hit a
Yeah.
home run tonight as we're recording, but at the same time, like he has some at bats where it looks like he's coming out of it and he's hitting the ball hard, but then he also has other at bats where it looks like he's just still there and he's like pulling off and he's striking out and he's like waving at the ball. But at the same time, like anywhere you put him at second, you put him at third, you put him in left, you put him in right. He's not a liability defensively anywhere.
Mm.
So I don't know what the Mets do with him. Do they just kind of stick it out with him at this point? Because he's another one. You're not going to trade him because his trade value right now just isn't there. And plus, he's got that $15 million, price tag that comes along with it.
I was actually looking up Brett Beatty's minor league stats to see what he's
He,
doing
he's
down
he's
there.
he's cooled off over the last few weeks. When he
Yeah,
first
not
went down,
great.
he was raking. Over the last couple of weeks, he's been, not so much.
Yeah, not great. I'm looking at a 229 average, 9 home runs, 28 RBIs, a .8 OPS. I mean, it's okay. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I mean, the
It's not great.
229 doesn't really speak to the whole season. Obviously, he's been up and down a little bit. Like I said, when he first got sent down, like those first 2 weeks, he was on fire. Recently, I think he has kind of dropped off a little bit. Um, but yeah, I don't know.
Not looking like a viable option though. I honestly would prefer McNeil right now just because we know he has that in him. It could
Yeah,
come, you know. That's
and
I mean,
McNeil is a better defender with a lot more versatility.
of course, yeah,
Obviously,
yeah. I mean, but Brett Beatty's been getting a lot better on defense.
yeah,
But
he has. He has.
that being said, I've been kind of waiting on this. You hear the news, right? You hear the rumblings, right? Our boy Kodai Senga, it's looking like Friday.
Yes.
It's looking like Friday.
Yes. Barring any unforeseen setbacks over the next few days, it does look like he is going to make his season debut on Friday. Yeah.
I cannot wait. It's been 2 months past due. I've been sitting here itching for it. I want to see some ghost forks. I want us to make that big bullpen splash this week so that we have just the utmost positivity going off the All-Star break. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole rest of the season, we're pushing up roses because we got a lot tougher schedule coming up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I
so we
mean,
need that bullpen help and we need it now. So
yeah,
getting
and end of
Beatty's back.
July is still a little bit there with like the lesser teams, but getting into like August and September, there's some there's a tough schedule coming up for the Mets.
Not to mention a couple against the Braves and the Phillies, which are going to be
Yeah.
extremely important.
Because
Stay
ending
on.
July, obviously you have Miami. No, actually, even really after kind of hit and miss because after Miami, obviously we have the Yankees. Then we play Atlanta and Minnesota, two tough teams. But then you start August off with the Angels, the Rockies, which are
Winnable.
winnable. Seattle hasn't really been that great this year. They've been kind of struggling. Then you face Oakland, you face Miami, but then you go into a tough stretch against Baltimore, San Diego, and Arizona. Then you come out of that. You got the Chicago White Sox, who are like just the complete dog shit of the MLB this year.
Yeah, the Syracuse Mets.
Um, so you play them. You play the Boston Red Sox, who have been like a 500 team this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you play the Reds, who you're fighting for that wild card spot with. That's a big series. You have the absolutely underperforming Toronto Blue Jays.
Who will be sellers at the trade deadline, so we're going to
Yeah,
be looking a lot worse than they do right
by
now.
by the time we face them.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, like you said, you finish up the season with two series against the Phillies, a series against Atlanta, and then the last three games of the year in Milwaukee.
Fucking Milwaukee.
September is going to be a tough month outside of like that Toronto series, really.
Fucking Milwaukee, man. I
And
wonder
you
if we're
got
going to get Hopkins back.
I don't know. I think he was hurt. I'm not sure if he was done for the season or not.
Does beef last for 4 months? Because that was like the
Absolutely.
first
With a guy like that, absolutely.
yeah.
100%.
Because that was like one of the first series of the year that we played, right? That whole
Well, that's the thing too.
Milwaukee
That
Brewers
that
Hopkins
beat goes
incident.
back to him playing with the Phillies.
Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does. But
And
still,
what was his name? Jacob Rain. If you remember him, he was a reliever the Mets had a few years ago. Hit Rhys Hoskins a couple times, and Rhys Hoskins was a douche about it.
he didn't like that too much.
No, he didn't like that. I forget like what led up to that. Like I don't know if they had hit somebody or he did something, and I think Rain like threw a fastball over his head and hit him one time, and then there was the one game when Rhys Hoskins I think hit a home run off of Jacob Rain and literally basically walked around the bases. Like this is not a home run trot. It was like a home run walk. Now,
Yeah.
granted, I don't remember if it was in Philly or New York, but this guy literally, it took him like 45 seconds to make his way around the bases. Something that realistically should take you like 25. It took him like 40.
Yeah,
It was
no,
just
players are
really
never
just
gonna
like,
like
he
that.
was just like, I'm going to take as long as I can and basically tell you all to go fuck yourselves.
Just drink it right
And
in, boys. Just
yeah,
drink it right in.
exactly.
Yeah, no, players are never gonna take too calmly to that. I just
No.
saw Aaron Judge staring daggers at an opponent who was just doing that
Oh, yeah.
like yesterday or today.
Yeah.
Might have been even in today's game. But yeah, no, that's never gonna be taken kindly too.
No,
I
not at
have
all.
I have a fun new game for us that we could
Apparently, I
try.
do too. I did not know about this.
Oh, okay, then we can do both. It'll be really fun. All right,
Okay.
awesome. So let's break down any more news. You got anything going on in NFL or NHL world?
I mean, not really that that I know of. It's, obviously it's the off season. Teams are starting to get their training camps going and stuff like that. I actually did just see a headline um as I was, logging on here tonight.
Mm,
Apparently there's something going on with the Dallas Cowboys. I guess one of their high draft picks like is like, oh, this guy isn't starting. And I saw something about like malpractice coaching
really?
going on. I read the headline. I didn't click on the article or anything like that because I didn't have the time. I was getting into here.
This
So
is the first I'm
I
hearing about
I
it
don't
too.
know. As it is, the Cowboys are still working on a contract for CD Lamb. He's not coming to training camp without it.
Yep.
Um, the Cowboys have a very much reworked offensive line and defensive line and a whole bunch of other stuff. I I've been seeing a lot of stuff where people are still thinking the Cowboys are going to win 10, 11 games this year. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't think that offensive line is going to be good enough. You don't know what you're going to get out of the receivers outside of CD Lamb. Again, assuming you do sign him to a contract, and you don't know what you're going to get out of the running game with Ezekiel Elliott, who you brought back, and I don't even remember who else they have on the depth chart right now at running back. So it's like, how can you expect this team to win 10 or 11 games when they have so many question marks on the offense, so many question marks on the defense, a new defensive coordinator, a head coach that is basically fighting for his job? So I don't know. I don't see it.
It's kind of getting dark times, yeah, for sure. In NFC East land, that
Yeah.
is not Philadelphia. They're always
Or
doing.
I mean, even
I mean,
Washington. I don't know, man. Washington could surprise a lot of people this year.
Washington's the commies aren't ever gonna do anything. Stop.
I
I
don't
gotta
know,
see
man.
it. I gotta see it
I
before.
mean, that's just me rooting for Dan Quinn because he was a great defensive coordinator for the Cowboys
Yeah,
the
well, he's
last
got to
few
beat you guys
years.
twice
But
in order for that to happen. So,
I don't know, man. I feel like the Washington Commanders could surprise some people this year.
I really don't remember any of the rooting for Jason Garrett when that happened too.
Well,
And then,
Jason Garrett was terrible, and I knew that. Dan
yeah,
Quinn was actually good at his job.
one of the
Jason Garrett
most
was not good at his
dumbfounding,
job.
one of the most dumbfounding things that a team that I've root for has ever done in my lifetime. In my lifetime, you play this guy twice a year. You know he's terrible. Like he's
Yeah,
a divisional rival, and now you're gonna bring him in as offensive coordinator. Thank
and
God
he
that
failed.
is done.
And he failed.
Thank
Just
God
as
that that is
what
done.
we knew he would.
Yep. But yeah, my Giants, not really any. I mean, like as all the NFL news right now is just going to be so clickbaity because we're directly in the middle of summer and everything like
Yeah.
that. They're talking about Jordan Love not signing his contract yet.
Oh
Not,
yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
yeah, we all know that it's going to get done. They're not going to
Hmm.
Packers aren't going to let Jordan Love walk. You know what I'm saying? So that's just clickbait news. You have the Giants getting relentlessly made fun of on Hard Knocks. It stinks only because like I don't know, man. The first two episodes, I was feeling pretty good about the way that things were going there. I was like, oh, I can relate to these guys. I can see what they're thinking about. I envision the future that they're drawing up for me, and I can kind of get behind this. And then You go to the internet, and it's a dangerous place to do that when you're trying to get your facts checked or trying to get your opinion solidified and everything like that, because yeah, it turns out I'm not supposed to be able to relate to these guys. There's a reason why I'm not in the Giants front office. There's a reason why I'm not a NFL head scout and everything like that, is because you and me sitting here bullshitting, talking about what Saquon Barkley is worth and who's going to trade him for what and what a trade package could possibly look like should not be at all identifiable to the real conversations that are happening in the front offices
Oh
of
yeah, yeah.
teams. And that's kind of what we're seeing. It's like everybody on the internet is kind of like, this kind of sounds like me and my friends talking football. I don't really know about this. Like, can anybody get this job? No, it's just because,
No, no,
yeah,
not just anybody can do that job.
yeah, no, it's just because we're the Giants and we don't hire good people. So, yeah, the optimism that I was feeling from the first two episodes kind of got sucked right away. Especially when, like Joe Shane said that the Eagles were out of the deal, of the Saquon deal, and told Mara that. So it's not like he was lying about it. He legitimately had no idea that his own, like, our worst divisional rival is going to be stealing our best player, our running
Yeah.
back. Basically, something that Joe Mara said specifically. If he goes to the Eagles, I'm going to be losing sleep about it, aka your ass is on the line.
Yeah.
He was like, oh no, no, Eagles are out. And then he went to the fucking Eagles. Like, what is going on here? What is going on here, guys?
Somebody gave him some bad somebody got paid to give him bad information.
I guess so, or
Man,
something
I
like
don't
that.
know.
But as the GM of the New York Football Giants, you should not be falling for shit like this. And you
No.
shouldn't be talking like me and you are talking on this
Yeah.
podcast right now. You know, we should not be able to understand what you guys are saying or what you guys are doing. You know, give me some faith in that. But no, we're gonna be terrible again, and it's gonna be fine. I like John Runyon. I forgot that we even added him. I thought it was just Jermaine Eleanor that we added. I completely forgot all about John Runyon.
Hmm.
He popped up in the third episode. It was like the Giants also signed John Runyon. I was like, from the Packers. I
Oh
love
yeah,
that guy.
yeah.
Totally forgot about him. So that was a nice little reminder. Nice little helpful surprise. But other than that, yeah, Hard Knocks has not been fun.
Hmm. So you know what I just thought about? I think it was you that we were talking about this, and you had said something to me about it, about how with the Olympics coming up and the men's basketball team obviously, put together to try and win a gold medal. And I think you were the one that told me that, oh, they're probably gonna, blow it to some team like some, second tier crap team. Well, they almost did that the other night. I know it's just like an exhibition or prelims or whatever it is right now. I don't think it's actually part of the Olympic bracket or anything like that. But
Strictly an exhibition.
um, yeah, but they almost lost to South Sudan.
Who we were like,
So
I think the line was
they were
minus
like,
35.
they were like 40-point favorites.
Yeah, it's not looking good, man. Also, Puerto Rico played us really tough. Germany needed like last like 35 seconds of heroism from LeBron James, or else we were gonna lose that game too. Now,
Wow.
granted, they're all W's, okay?
Yeah,
We've come out on all of them victorious, but we've not been looking like the world beaters that everybody said we were gonna be.
yeah. Now, granted, part of it could be, Kevin Durant's not there. He's obviously a big, piece of that team, a very big offensive weapon. Also can play some defense. But yeah, I mean, this is the Olympics, man. You see it all the time. Like some of these guys who are like, role player bench guys in the NBA, all of a sudden get into the Olympics playing for their home country, and these guys all of a sudden look like Hall of Famers. Like we see this all the time. I'm hoping that this is just a case of like, oh, these are exhibitions, and these are just kind of the guys like warming up, and once the actual like games that count begin, that's when we're just gonna see like, all right, game on, time to lock in, let's go do this.
Now, I'm not saying that that's not what is most likely going to happen, but I think that a lot of the people who talk USA basketball kind of don't realize that, like, basketball is just so much more different than any of the other three major sports and everything like that, in that when you do have an assembly of like the 12 best players on the planet, like you arguably do with USA basketball right now,
Sometimes things don't always mesh
it's not
perfectly.
gonna
Yeah.
there's a lot of superstar inflated egos. Everybody wants the ball. Everybody wants to be on the field at all times. Jason Tatum is like what, our sixth or seventh best guy on that team. You think Jason Tatum, who just won an NBA championship, is going to be wanting bench minutes somewhere in Germany? No, he's going to be wanting to play the entire time. You really need to have a coach that gets all of these superstars' egos in check and gets them
Mm-hmm.
to all to play together. And I'm not saying that that's not Steve Kerr, but we haven't seen Steve Kerr do it yet, and it's a lot harder than people give like
Yeah.
you credit for. It's not just about
Absolutely.
building up the best team and saying, well, these are the 12 best guys, so we should win. Yeah, sometimes, but
Yeah.
sometimes not too. So,
Yeah. You also have to have that like locker room leader that like rallies the troops together.
and
That
is that
I'm
LeBron?
is it LeBron? Like I'm not entirely sure. You know, I feel like at some point it could end up being more. We hear about like all of a sudden this team kicks it into gear, goes on a run, and all of a sudden we hear about like we start hearing rumblings of like oh, somebody's really kind of like taken the reins and gotten this team together, and it's not LeBron James. Who is it? It's Steph Curry.
Oh, that's
Because
fine.
just think
He's a lot more
about
like
what Steph Curry has done in his career with the Golden State Warriors. Like, yes, he's been there with Steve Kerr, but think about what he's done. He's taken Draymond Green and Klay Thompson from draft picks to future Hall of Famers.
absolutely.
He he corralled the ego of Kevin Durant and made him a champion.
The most
Like
miserable
all
man.
Steph Curry has ever done is make people around him better.
Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of leadership that they're looking for though, and it doesn't really surprise me even that Steph Curry is that guy because he's just so much more likable than LeBron
Yeah.
is. LeBron's full of shit a lot,
He
you
is.
know. He's also like, and obviously this is something that's going to come out that is like extremely obvious, but I don't think it's something that like a lot of people think about. Like these aren't kids that are playing. It's not like teenagers or you and
Yeah.
me. You got to go and motivate them with the right words or something like that. Like LeBron James is a 39-year-old billionaire. Who the fuck
Yeah.
is going to relate to that? Who's going to
Exactly.
relate to that? You know,
Yeah.
what do you say to that guy?
I don't know.
So it is. It's a lot harder than it looks. But that being said, it's also extremely possible that our first game against, I think, Puerto Rico, that starts on Friday, we're just going to beat them by 50.
Yeah.
So it could go
Well,
either way at this
who
point.
knows? Yeah. Who knows?
But yeah, that is all of the basketball stuff that is going on. It's really just been USA basketball.
Yeah.
Summer
I
League is
mean,
going on right now. Bronny is choking, as we
yeah.
all predicted he would.
Well, as much as I want to be on that train too, I do have to at least mention a couple something that I've seen over the last week or so that relates to that. In that, in his first like 3 games or whatever it was this year in summer league, I think Bronny started like 6 for 25 or something like that from the floor.
Yeah.
Well, there's another NBA player
Uh-oh.
who got drafted very high and had a lot of, you know, was very um a lot of excitement around him as opposed to everybody's Bronny only got drafted because of this blah 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 blah
Big time hype train.
and had a lot of hype around him. Started summer league his first 3 games his rookie season, I believe 5 for 25 or 5 for 26.
Mm-hmm.
And that player is Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, summer league's really weird like that, man. There's going to be guys that have nights like that are going to turn into superstars, and then there are also guys that are going to be putting up like 30 and 15 and getting maybe 3 minutes per game.
Yeah.
So summer league stats don't mean anything. The only thing that's really hurting Bronny in his case is, well, you didn't get it done in college. You kind of took high school off and took the easy route on that and everything by being sent to prep schools that were like designed to make you look amazing,
Mm-hmm.
right? And now in summer league, you're not really doing it either. So when are you going to be doing it?
Yeah. When is he gonna
Where's the
figure it out?
production we're seeing,
Mm-hmm.
or that we've been hyped about?
Yeah.
Alex Sarr, though, Alex Sarr is 1 for 35, I think, in his first couple of summer league starts. So it's been ugly for a lot of the top prospects and everything. It's not just been Bronny.
Yeah. Whereas a second year player who was in summer league this year, who I believe got drafted a little bit later last year in 2023. He might have been a second round draft pick, I want to say. I saw earlier today, I believe won summer league MVP. That's Jalen Wilson of the Brooklyn Nets,
Ooh,
who we got to see some of at the end of the year last year. I like this kid a lot.
yeah.
I like this kid. He's a very good wing player. He can shoot the three. I like the look of this kid a lot.
All right, well, I mean that's good.
And
Now
I
again,
believe
don't
he
fall
was
in
one
love with
of
what you
I
see in summer
he
league.
was dropping like 30 points a game this year in summer league. Like he was killing it.
Yeah, you got to temper those expectations because it's almost a completely it's like G League plus over
Yeah.
here,
But again, he got some NBA experience last year, especially at the end of the year. Was coming off the bench, didn't look bad. So I feel like I'm hoping they could have a bright future with this kid.
And the thing that also helps him a lot is you guys are obviously a rebuilding team, so he's going
Yeah,
to have the minutes.
he's probably going to get some minutes this year.
Yeah, he's going to have those minutes. I mean,
Yeah,
who else are you going to give him to at this point? Ben Simmons? But
I hope not.
yeah,
Oh
well,
God.
not even a Nets fan, and I hope not either, because nobody
Oh,
wants that. So let's get going. What's your new
all right.
game?
Well, one other thing I just want to mention before we get into
Oh,
that,
okay, yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt.
because we were talking about the Olympics and a little bit, but also talking about like you know circumstances of the game and context and stuff like that. I don't know if you heard about over the weekend we had the WNBA All-Star Weekend, and the big culmination of that weekend was they had the team that would have been the WNBA All-Star team if it had
Mhm.
not been for the Olympics, which is the women's national basketball team, and they faced off against Team WNBA, which was the All Stars that they chose for this year,
Basically like the USA
including
team.
including rookies Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese,
Okay.
and Team WNBA won.
Oh wow. Well, that's
So
not
again,
good.
in the context of it, was the women's national team really like giving it their all? Were they just kind of out there like playing but trying not to get hurt and making sure they're healthy for the Olympics? You don't know. And obviously I didn't watch any of the game. I just saw that Team WNBA won, and it looks like it was potentially led by Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. It's still something to think about.
Yeah, I mean it's the new rookie wave that's coming in that's lighting the WNBA on fire. I don't really like speaking about it a lot only because again, I just don't ever have the time to watch the WNBA. It's
Yeah.
not about women's sports. It's not about my love or hatred for basketball. I love basketball. And some women are nice. But I don't have the time for it, so I'm not gonna speak on it, you know?
So let me see here. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, yeah, Caitlin Clark played 26 minutes in the game. Only had 4 points, but did dish out 10 assists.
There you go.
Um,
There you go.
Angel Reese played 18 minutes. She had 12 points. On
He's break
some
a
girl,
record for assists too. Caitlin
I'm
Clark.
not even gonna take I'm not gonna entirely take a crack at this name. Arike Ogunbowale.
And that's our show, guys. Good night.
Yeah, she Team WNBA played 31 minutes, scored 34 points.
Boy.
And again, these are the girls that aren't on the USA roster.
I can say though, regardless of the sport, regardless of your sex, it's not a good look to be losing to the B team. It's
Yeah,
a bad look going in, especially because women's basketball is also getting a lot more talent around the world. Like you see that
it is.
woman at China, that 7'6"
Oh yeah, like 15.
Leviathan,
She's like 15 or 16 years old or something
and
like
she's
that, isn't it?
7'6", 100%
Yeah,
engineered in the lab.
yeah, probably.
Don't even tell
I
me.
could understand that.
Woman's 15 and she's 7'6",
And I'm
7'7".
pretty sure it's
No,
15. I could be wrong, but I think it was like she was like 15 or 16 or something like that.
you built her in a lab for sure.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way that you did not. Right next to the
I think I've seen that there's like a high school kid in America too that's like 7'5" at like 17. He's like a sophomore or junior in high school. I
you
think I
see
remember seeing like a month ago or something like that, maybe.
you see like freakishly tall men and everything like that, but like even the tallest woman in the world was only like what 6'10", 6'11",
Something like that, maybe.
and this one she's 15.
Yeah, she's 15 years old. Yeah.
You built her, okay? There's no way that I want to see the inside. Somebody cut this woman open. There's going to be some cybernetics in there or something.
Yeah, right.
I'm telling you. Get her on the operating table. Let me see her art. Then I'll believe it. But I don't know, man. But
Yeah, it's wild sometimes. It's like
China's
what
getting
did
a
they
lot
put in
better.
her? What are they feeding her? Miracle Grow and just
I,
woo,
that's what I'm saying, man. There's got to be some kind of bone grafts or something in there.
something. Yeah, I don't
Super
know.
steroids that they figured out or whatever. I don't know. But but Canada is getting better. China is getting better.
Yeah.
The Northern European countries, they're all loving women's basketball and everything like that. So they're not. I mean, it's no slouches over there.
No, yeah.
It'll be a lot harder for them too.
Yep. All right. Well, at this point, we can get into the games. So, do you want to start with the known or the unknown?
All right, let's go with the unknown.
The unknown? Okay.
Yeah, because that's how I play.
In my process of setting up for tonight's recording here, obviously, the known is like connections. They give
Okay.
us a bunch of basketball players, and we have to, find out the connections, which four fit into the different categories. Well, I type in lay connections into my internet tab,
Mm-hmm.
hit enter, the page loads, and a nice little thing pops up right on the screen and says, hey, if you like lay connections, we think you might like this.
Oh no. Oh
Uh,
no. He's pulling it up now.
I am pulling it up now. It is lay connections with football players.
What? Okay. Okay. No, I actually like this. This is really cool. I'm down for this. I thought
So
this was going in a completely different direction.
this
But go ahead,
time
read off the names.
we have Zach Ertz, Bryce Young, Alshon Jeffrey, Mac Jones, T.Y. Hilton, Tua Tagovailoa, Matthew Stafford, Chuba Hubbard, Latavius Murray, Drew Brees, Juice Landry, AJ McCarron, Elijah Mitchell, Nick Neck Foles,
Neck Foles, Big Dick Nick,
Eli Manning,
my boy.
and
My
Joshua
heart.
Kelly.
My entire sports heart. Go ahead, give us the faces. Let me see him. Look at that big goofy motherfucker. I miss you so much. I kiss the screen. All right, here we go.
Okay.
So
Uh,
I'm was seeing kind of young quarterbacks out here. That might be a thing, right?
um,
Tua, Mac Jones, Nick Foles is kind of young.
no, Nick Foles is in his no, he's in his 30s. He's very
Yeah.
old.
Okay.
So those and Bryce Young is a young quarterback, but the rest of them are all
AJ McCarron.
no. He's an old
Watts.
failed quarterback. Wait a minute, wait. I got one. I got this. me go back to the names if this would unfreeze here. Okay. We have, if I'm correct, I believe it is. I believe it's Bryce Young. No, not Bryce Young. Maybe not Bryce Young. Might be wrong
Tua
there.
and AJ both
No, I know Tua, Mac
Alabama.
Jones, and AJ all went to Alabama.
Mac Jones went to Alabama?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, was he Oklahoma? I might be wrong there.
I think you might be wrong. I think it might be Oklahoma.
You might be Oklahoma. Okay. So I know AJ McCarron and Tua were
Jarvis Landry went to Alabama too, didn't he?
and Alshon Jeffrey might have went to Alabama.
Hmm.
I don't know. All right. Although we have
Chuba Hubbard,
1,
Latavius
2,
Murray.
3, and 4, I believe, have all won Super Bowl MVP before.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, we
pretty
could
sure.
do that. Yeah. There you go. QB's won a Super Bowl ring. Not even
With Super
MVP.
Bowl ring, not even Super Bowl MVP.
There you go.
Okay. I think there's something there with the Alabama thing, but I know it's definitely AJ McCarron. It's definitely Tua. I can't remember. I think Bryce Young might have been Alabama,
I thought he was
or
LSU.
maybe not. I don't know. No, I don't think he was LSU.
I'm gonna have to look that up after this.
Uh, oh, so we actually got the medium hint. What is the active running back?
Oh, come on.
Okay, so that's Elijah Mitchell, Chuba Hubbard, Joshua Kelly, and Latavius Murray.
Yep.
Those are the only.
Hello.
Wow,
there we go. I was gonna say,
right,
I know
so
that's right. Come on.
yeah.
But
All right, so what else do we possibly have here? I mean, we have 4 quarterbacks.
and 4 wide receivers, don't we?
Well, yeah, 3 wide receivers and a tight end.
All right, so that's gotta be something. Was Tua in the Mac Jones? No, they
Yeah,
weren't
Tua
in the
and
same
Mac
draft
Jones
class.
were at Alabama together.
Yeah, so they wouldn't have been in the same draft class. I was wondering if it was a draft class thing.
No, they think they were like a year behind each other or something like that.
Do Jeffrey. Let's go Tua, Mac Jones, Jeffrey, and Juice.
Do you think they were all at Alabama at the same time?
Not at the same time, but in Alabama.
Oh, okay. I mean, we got
Yeah,
no nothing.
All right. That was my guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's something there with the Alabama. I just don't know what. What's the Alabama QBs? Okay,
Wow.
so it is all 4. They did all go to Alabama.
Wow, I was wrong on Bryce Young. Huh?
Yeah. I
I should have remembered AJ McCarron went to Alabama, damn
No,
it.
AJ McCarron I knew definitely went to, because I remember when he was at Alabama, like one of the biggest things I remember is like they were winning national championships even though he wasn't like the greatest quarterback, but
Yeah.
his girlfriend, who I think might be his wife now, was like fucking supermodel, like drop dead amazingly, like she was ridiculously hot.
10 out of
Like,
10.
oh yeah, absolutely. Alabama
So
QB. And
my AJ McCarron story was I have remembered the same thing being written and said about Dak Prescott when he was in Mississippi State, how Mississippi State was good despite him. They had
yeah.
great players. It wasn't just Dak Prescott.
Hmm.
And I remember watching a couple of Mississippi State games and going, I don't know. I think he's going to
Yeah.
be good. I really wanted the Giants to go for him, and we did not. He went to the Cowboys, and I was right. I was fucking right.
Well, I mean the
I
opposite.
really
I mean AJ McCarron was a good quarterback in college. Never, didn't translate to the NFL. But
so that's what I'm saying. I saw a couple of AJ
yeah.
McCarron games where I was like, I don't know. I think that I saw a lot of Dak Prescott in him. I wanted him to be good.
All right. So what about these last guys? Ertz, T.Y. Hilton, Alshon Jeffrey, and Jarvis Landry. What could
Rookie
they have?
rookie catching numbers.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, rookie receiving
Maybe they
yards or
all have
something
like
like that.
rookie receiving like records for their teams.
Yeah, because if you remember, all of these guys except for maybe Ertz might be the one that screws it up. But I
Well, no,
remember
I mean he's a tight end, but he was really good.
Hilton, Jeffrey, and Juice all had like 2 or 3 really good years coming out, and then
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. What is it? Players
that's
with
just
5,000 plus career receiving yards. Oh, okay.
crazy. So it didn't even have to
What
be
would have
a.
thrown me off on that one, I think, might be Alshon Jeffrey because he had like such a quick peak and then disappearance.
Okay.
Because like Alshon Jeffrey had like 2 seasons with the Bears where like he came out of nowhere and then he like disappeared.
Yes,
Whereas
and
at
I
least
love the
like
fact that he
T.Y.
did
Hilton
he
was good
disappeared
for
until he
like
got to the.
for like 4 or 5 years. Zach Ertz was good for a long time, and Jarvis Landry was good for like 6 or 7. He had like a really good 6 or 7 year stretch. Whereas like Alshon Jeffrey's like peak was maybe 3 seasons.
And then he got to the Eagles, and then he stunk,
Yeah.
which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah. All right. So let's go back to our. Oh, see, there it is. NFL Connections is here.
Hey,
That
late
was the
connection.
thing that I saw. Okay. Well, let's go into NBA Connections now. This week we have Lou Williams, Nikola Jokic, Steph Curry, Taj Gibson, Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul, Dwight Howard, Jamal Murray, DeAndre Jordan, LeBron James, Jimmy Butler, Kevin McHale, Jamal Crawford, Shaquille O'Neal, Dario Saric, and Ricky Pierce.
Only one person this time I don't know anything
Yeah,
about.
that is Ricky Pierce. I have no idea who that is.
Nope. He looks like a
And
Spur
emo Jimmy Butler.
and emo Jimmy Butler. Still got that. Awesome. So might as well just get this one out of the way right now and throw Russ, Chris Paul, Steph Curry, and Jamal Murray together, right?
All right, Russ, Chris Paul, Jamal
Steph Curry.
Murray, and Steph Curry. Why? Just because they're all guards?
Those are all prolific guards, or maybe assists or something like that, or possibly double doubles.
I mean, Lou Williams was a guard. He was pretty good.
Yeah,
Jamal
maybe.
Crawford.
Yeah, Lou Williams and Jamal. Well, Jamal Crawford was a shooting guard. Lou
Yeah,
Williams was
yeah,
definitely a point guard, but like he came off the bench a lot. Like he was more
that's
of
true.
like that quintessential 6 man type guy.
All right. Well, all right. Let's see if it. Nope,
Nope,
nothing.
nothing. Not even
No.
close. All right.
Uh,
What are you seeing with Shaq and DeAndre here and Dwight Howard? Are you thinking blocks?
I don't know. Kevin McHale could be in that too.
Yeah, Kevin McHale had a lot of blocks.
Yeah. Shaq, DeAndre Jordan, Dwight Howard, McKay could be something with blocks. They definitely were all, in their peaks, prolific shot blockers.
Dwight Howard and Chris Paul, were they the same? No, no.
Um,
Thought Howard and Paul might be like in the same draft class, but then you also have Jokic, who's also really good at
yeah.
a good defensive
I don't know.
player.
I'm gonna need a hint. Okay, what's the easy hint here? Oh, current Nuggets play. Okay, so we have Jokic, Jamal Murray, DeAndre Jordan. I think is actually on the Nuggets right now. Who else is on the Nuggets?
Right? Uh-oh. Oh,
Is it
Russell Westbrook.
what?
Russell Westbrook got traded to the Nuggets, yes.
No,
I
he
don't
got
know if
traded to Utah and didn't go to Utah, so he's with the Nuggets now.
he's with the Nuggets now.
Oh, okay. Well then, let's
This
submit
is his
that.
second this is his second
No,
time one away. Is it not DeAndre Jordan or is it not Russell Westbrook then?
I don't know. Then who else is it?
I was looking at
Is it
Jamal
Taj
Crawford.
Gibson?
I was looking at Jamal Crawford.
No, Jamal Crawford's retired.
Hmm.
Not Lou Williams. Not.
No, he's a Spur now.
Oh yeah, that's right. Not Dwight Howard. Not Butler. Not LeBron James. It's obviously not him. Not Saric.
Oh, I don't know. That's blue and white.
What?
His jersey is blue and white.
Dar who? Dario Saric? No, he don't play no more. He
Yeah,
was on that. That's the same blue and white as Steph Curry. He was on the Golden State Warriors.
I thought it was a 76er.
No, he might have been at one point too. All right, what's the next hint?
Most
Most
career.
career dunks.
Yeah.
Okay.
LeBron.
No, well, yeah. So that's Shaq, DeAndre Jordan, LeBron, and
Dwight
Dwight
Howard.
Howard.
Yeah.
Okay. How was that? That one was easier than us getting the current Nuggets roster.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm messing up on this third person.
I don't know. Because we know it's Jokic, we know it's Jamal Murray. I know. Well, okay, so it's not DeAndre Jordan anymore then. So he's not there. So then who the hell is? So is it Russell Westbrook and then who else? Is it Taj Gibson?
I thought Gibson retired, dude.
I
I
thought
thought,
he was retired too, but maybe not.
yeah, I thought Gibson was like late 2000s.
Because not Jimmy Butler.
Not Butler,
It's not Lou Williams.
who's definitely retired.
It's not Jamal Crawford. He's definitely retired. Ricky Pierce. This guy is definitely old.
Yeah. All right, try Josh Gibson.
You know what? Okay, what's the hard hint?
Six man of
Won
the year,
six
two plus
minute
time.
six man of the year at least twice. So
Uh,
that's Lou Williams. I bet did it.
Taj,
Taj probably did it. Jamal Crawford.
probably, and then Sark, right?
No, I don't think so. I would have said Ricky Pierce.
Yeah, because we know a lot about that dude.
Well, you tell me. Do we try it?
Go for it.
I mean, we still got. Nope. Oh, one away.
Take out Taj, put in Sark.
You think so?
Yeah, because now you got. Oh no, wait, that might be our last one, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's our last one. Okay, what's the final?
Oh,
Active players with 20 plus wins against LeBron. Okay, so that's Steph Curry.
Jokic.
Gotta be Russell Westbrook.
No, Jokic is the Nuggets one.
Yeah, it's gotta be Westbrook.
Chris Paul?
Chris Paul, I think, has to be one of them, and probably Jimmy Butler. I think it's got to be those four.
I don't like this. I know Westbrook's a Nugget. I'll just say that. I don't
So
know
then,
how up to date this is because this only just happened a couple days ago. But
so
I know
maybe is
Westbrook's
it Taj Gibson? Are we? Is he still active? And he's got 20 wins.
regale me the teams that Jamal Crawford played for because I kind of remember him being a thorn in
But
LeBron's side.
Jamal Crawford's retired though. I don't
Yeah,
think he's active.
yeah, but he could have had 20 plus wins in the 25 years that LeBron's been playing.
Active players.
Active. Got it. Okay. So it's got to be Gibson then, right?
I think it's got to be Gibson because I don't think Jokic has been around long enough and in the same conference as LeBron to have 20 wins against him. I don't think he's played LeBron that many times.
Okay.
All right, okay, let's give it a shot. Oh,
All right.
all right then. Who the hell is it? All right, so it's Jokic, it's Jamal Murray, it's Russell Westbrook, and is Saric active that I don't know about, and he's on the Nuggets?
I thought he was active.
I guess maybe he is. I don't know.
He's never been prolific, so you forget about him a lot. He's
Well,
always
no.
been
See,
very
the
good.
thing I'm thinking about is I think he's still relatively young. It's just he's hardly ever played because he's had such like horrific injuries that have kept him out for like multiple seasons at a time.
He also wasted a lot of his career on the 76ers, just being a very good role player. So you wouldn't. I mean, it's not a household name, you know.
No. So that has to be the Nuggets team then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay. And then these are Kevin McHale was a sixth man?
I did not know that.
I could have sworn he was a starter on that team.
Yeah, I did not put it
Unless
right.
maybe he was like a sixth man early in his career, and then later he became a starter.
Big man, six man confuse me. I don't know.
Yeah,
Usually you want your six man as the guy that runs your bench and everything like that. So
yeah,
it's
like a point
big guy,
guard or something like that. Yeah,
at least a point forward.
yeah.
But
That's why I'm thinking maybe this was like early in his career, and then like later on he became a starter,
perhaps.
or maybe it was at like the end of his career.
Oh, I wanted to look up where Bryce Young went, but we already figured that out.
Yeah, it was Alabama.
Yeah.
All right, do we want to play Hall of Fame?
Yeah. You want to do Hall of Fame and then we'll play my game next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Unless we can somehow actually get this really fast, which I don't think is going to
Uh,
happen. But all right,
it's a lot.
we have Kyrie Irving, Elton Brand, David Robinson, Zion Williamson, Robert Ory, Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, Michael Jordan, Paolo Banchero,
Ooh,
John Stockton, DeAndre Ayton, James Harden, Brian Shaw,
Carmelo
Carmelo
Anthony,
Anthony, Trey Young, LeBron James,
Triple
Jaren
J.
Jr., Rick Fox, Luka Doncic, Derek Fisher, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, Sam Perkins, Art Heyman,
Jesus Christ.
Marvin Bagley III, and Carl Malone.
Is that the rapist?
Yes,
Okay.
we don't mention that.
Okay.
Okay, so we need five. Okay, so
Also, is Rick Fox, isn't that LeBron's agent?
is it? It might be. I don't know.
It's not it's not any kind of it's never going to be a list of agents as the answer. So I'm just gonna look that up right now.
Uh,
You give me a guess.
all right. Well, I mean, that's one, two, three, four.
Who is LeBron's agent?
I don't think there was anybody else here that played.
It's not Fox, it's Rick Paul.
Oh, okay.
It was Rick,
Um,
the point guard name. So let's go with obvious stuff right off the bat.
well, I'm seeing at the very least. I don't know if there's anybody else here, but one, two, three, and four. I believe were all on the '92 Dream Team Olympic team.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know who else would have been on that team.
A baby Kobe?
No, he's too young. I don't think he was Robert. No, it wasn't Robert Ory. Was it Elton Brand? No, I think he's younger than those guys. I don't know if there's anybody else here who would have been on that team. I think they're all either too old or too young.
If baby Kobe is too young, then I don't know who else it would be. I do seem to
No,
remember.
because Kobe didn't even make it into the league until like '98 or something like that. He was a lot later than that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm honestly not sure.
Let's get some hints in here.
All right, really, Team USA Olympic scoring leaders. Okay,
Kobe, Melo, Michael Jordan, Kevin Durant, and
LeBron James and Kobe. No, one, two,
yeah,
three, four, five.
yeah, sure.
Nope, one away.
Um,
Okay, I don't know if it's Kevin Durant. Honestly, I would think maybe Karl Malone instead of Durant,
there was a Olympics. I don't
or
recall.
maybe Durant instead of Melo, and then somebody else. I know it's definitely got to be LeBron. It's definitely got to be Jordan, and I do definitely think it's Kobe.
There was an Olympics about 2 or 3 Olympi ago that it was in London And this was during my peak Kevin Durant glazing years, where I just absolutely loved everything about him, where he went absolutely ballistic
All
every
right, so
single
it's
game.
probably Kevin Durant, and then who else? Malone
I
or
think you're
David
taking out LeBron.
or David Robinson?
I think you're taking out LeBron for Melo and David
No,
Robinson.
mm-mm. LeBron, I think, is number one.
Is he?
Yeah, he's played that many times. I think he's played in the Olympics like every single year since he's been in the. He's played in like 5 Olympics.
Okay. Okay.
It's got to be LeBron. I'm thinking it's either Karl Malone or David Robinson is the other one.
Let's go David Robinson.
All right.
Just because Malone was more of like a.
Nope, still one away. Okay. So then it's not David Robinson because it was one away when we had Melo in there.
Mhm.
So Karl Malone. Let's try that. I think that's got to be not, and we're not one away now.
So it is.
So it is David Robinson. Then somebody else has to come out. Is it Kobe maybe
AD for Melo.
for Melo?
Yeah.
Oh wow. It
Yeah.
wasn't Kobe. I would have sworn it was Kobe.
Melo, Melo's never won a ring, so he takes his Olympic championships very seriously.
Hmm.
And that's not me making fun of him because he was on the Knicks and everything like that. And I love making fun of the Knicks. He legitimately, every time you ask him, he takes it very seriously.
Hmm.
So
All right. So what's next then? What the hell do we have with the rest of these guys?
John Stockton, James Harden. Hmm. I was going for assists. Yeah, but I can't think of any of the other two. The only ones that would reasonably be would be like Irving or Fisher, and they're not up there.
I have something in mind with this, but I don't know who the other one would now. All right, what do we got? Duke number one overall picks.
Are there any white guys with blonde hair?
Oh, that not necessarily, because guess what? Duke number one overall picks.
Okay.
Kyrie, Zion, and
Bagley.
Bagley. Was Bagley?
No, they said number one overall, right?
Yeah. Um, Paolo, I think, went to Duke, but he wasn't number one overall. I think he was like 2 or 3. Uh,
Well, who do we know out of these people that was number one overall? Kobe Bryant came right out of high school, so it's not
yeah,
him.
not him. Um,
DeAndre Ayton went number one overall, I think, didn't he?
yeah, he did. I don't know if he went to Duke or not, but it's just
I al-
um Marvin Bagley. Did he go number one overall?
I don't know. It's weird that I said Marvin Bagley first, though. Considering my very limited knowledge on college basketball, I think he might have played for Duke.
Yeah, and I don't think Jaren Jackson was a number one overall pick. Harden definitely wasn't, and he didn't go to Duke. Chris Paul didn't go to Duke. He went to like I want to say like Wake Forest or something like that.
Wake Forest, you're right. I remember that.
Um, I don't think it was Paolo. Again,
Stockton?
Paolo, I don't think was number one overall, was he?
Was John Stockton? Why is Sam Perkins sticking out at me?
I don't know. Why is he? That's Sam Perkins right there.
No. I lists of busts,
I don't
perhaps.
know. Maybe John Stockton? I don't know if he was a number one overall pick. Yeah, why not? Let's give it a shot. See if we get something. Nope.
Nope.
All right,
All right.
let's try something else. Most playoff games without a ring. Okay. Chris Paul,
Sure.
John Stockton, Karl Malone.
John Stockton don't have a ring?
No,
Wow, shocker.
remember they lost to the Chicago Bulls all the time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Um, James Harden.
Gotta be.
I didn't.
Robert Horry won with the old San
Yeah, he's
Antonio guys,
won.
right?
Elton Brand, maybe? Did he play a lot of playoff games and
It's
not
not
get a
Luka.
ring?
Luka just started with his playoff run.
Yeah, it's not Luca. It's not Trey.
J
Not
Triple J didn't
Pantero.
make it.
Kyrie's got a ring. Kobe obviously does.
Derek Fisher has a ring. DeAndre
Yeah.
Ayton didn't make it. So
Zion
yeah.
never made the playoffs. Jaren Jackson and Marvin Bagley are too young. Rick
So it's
Fox,
gotta
I think,
be
Rick Fox, I think, got a ring with Kobe. Not DeAndre Ayton. I think it Elton Brand
or Sam Perkins.
or Sam Perkins. Yeah, let's try Elton Brand first. Let's see if we get somewhere. One away. Okay, so I don't think it's Elton Brand. Maybe it's Sam Perkins. Let's see if that gives us something or one. Hey, all right.
Cool.
There we go. We had it narrowed down to two, and it was one of them. Duke,
Awesome.
number one overall picks. Let's go with this one. Drafted before Mo Bamba.
I got nothing on that. We could try and see like recent guys who got traded in the same like who
Okay,
got
drafted before Mo Bamba.
I'm thinking
I would say Trey, Luca, Zion. I think it was
Zion
probably.
was number one overall.
I think it's probably that draft. Who else was in that draft? Was it Jaren
Zion was number one
Jackson?
overall, dude.
What?
Zion was number one overall
Okay. Oh, that's right. So it's probably not him.
before.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, before Mo Bamba. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, what? You thought I said after? Okay. Most games as Shaq's teammate. All right, Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
Out of these names, I would probably say Rick Fox and Robert Ory.
Derek Fisher.
Derek Fisher. Okay. And it's got to be Brian Shaw or Art Heyman or Elton Brand. So let's just run through the three. Oh.
Hey,
One.
right off the bat.
Woo. Okay, so Duke number one overall picks.
And people drafted before Mo
Or
Bamba.
Mo Bamba. Okay, so kind of let's go Duke number one overall picks, knowing that they weren't drafted before Mo Bamba. Definitely Kyrie. So these two, the two old heads have to be because they weren't drafted in the same year as Mo Bamba. Zion was a number one overall out of Duke. And I guess maybe was it Paolo? I thought he was like 2 or 3. Maybe he was number one. Actually, you know what? I think he was number one.
It's either Paolo or Marvin Bagley.
There it is. Yeah, okay. So drafted before Mo Bamba was Ayton, Jaren Jackson, Luca, Bagley, and Trey. Okay.
So it wasn't Zion.
It wasn't Zion. Well, yeah, you helped me out with that one. Okay.
Even though I read it wrong, I still helped.
You did. You did help. All right.
Like an exits is fun though.
Hey, we went 3 for 3 tonight.
I'm actually kind of pissed. No, we missed the second one. We missed the first NBA one.
Right? No, we did. We got that one.
Did we? Okay.
Yeah, we ended up getting that one.
I have to replay the tapes. We'll see. But it is funny that few times that we've done Hall of Fame mode, I feel like it's gone way easier than like the actual regular.
Yeah, because like we just kind of use the hints and the fact that we don't have like a certain number of mess ups that were allowed before we lose.
So we just go right off the rip.
Yeah, we kind of like we find like, oh, okay, no, this category we can definitely get, and we just kind of like dwindle it down and make it easier for ourselves.
These guys are all guards.
Yeah.
These guys all played on the Bulls. Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Those hints definitely. If we didn't have those hints, we'd be sitting here like, Which way do we go, George?
So next week for the pod, I'll tip my hand. I'll let you know what game I was thinking of. I was writing it down while you were going on about football, I believe, and the Dallas Cowboys. But we're gonna do some over-unders. Okay. FanDuel came out with
Okay.
the over-unders for the whole regular season for each team. So we're gonna break it down. First 16 alphabetically. We were gonna start with Arizona and we were gonna end with Kansas City. We were gonna pick over or under. I was gonna give you a little bit of a breakdown as to what they did in the offseason to get better or worse. And I feel like, as the season goes along, we can kind of, it'll be a
Yeah.
competition. Whoever got ours closer.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
So we are doing that next week. Stay focused on that. That'll be obviously a 2-week thing because we're going to break it down 16 teams
Hmm.
each. That way we don't run too long on playtime.
Okay. And by the next time we record, we will be right about on the cusp of the MLB trading deadline.
MLB trading deadline. We're going to be talking about a lot of.
So, we're probably going to see some smaller moves coming up in the next week. By then, we might have some small stuff to talk about. The big splash moves probably won't happen until the day of, which is, I believe, the 31st is usually the trade deadline.
Episode 4 of Hard Knocks. We can break down that and my embarrassment towards our front office again. USA basketball will be playing.
Yep. The Olympics will have started. We can talk about the Olympics a little bit.
It's going to be a content-packed pod for the next few weeks, which is good because we've kind of been fishing for material lately.
Yeah. It's like the start of the Olympics, the fact that we can talk about the Olympic basketball team, throw some other stuff in there that's definitely going to help.
Yeah, for sure. All right,
and
before we go,
when the Olympics ends, we will be into NFL preseason. We will be getting set to restart the fantasy football league that we are in.
Yes, fantasy football. It's going to be sick. Can't wait for that. I've been playing for 13, 14 years running. I've only won twice. So, but
I've been playing. I don't even know how long I've been playing. I'm not sure I've ever won. Maybe once.
I've been 3 times to the championship.
I've been to the championship plenty of times, and I always think I end up losing.
I've been 3 times to the championship, and it was last year. I won one, and that was the first year I've ever been to a championship in my life when Michael Vick was not my quarterback. So that's how old I am and how long I've been doing it.
Yeah.
So that'll be really fun. All right, real quick before you go, favorite random Summer Olympic sport to watch when you're bored at home in the morning? Go. You're gonna say beach volleyball.
Oh, you're gonna make me say no, not quite. The women's gymnastics.
Okay, women's gymnastics is fine, dude. Simone Biles is killing it, right? Giles, did I get that?
That was like my favorite thing to watch, and I believe it was the 2008 Olympics. I'll tell you that much.
Not fucking weird at all, dude. My wife makes me watch figure skating, which I would never watch by myself, but I see the merit.
Yeah. I mean, beach volleyball isn't bad either.
Yes. That being said, mine, water polo.
Oh, okay.
Super, super athletic guys. And it's
that's for sure. That is for sure.
Stuff's on the bottom. I am on Threads. I am on Instagram. I am on YouTube. My buddy over here is on Facebook. He is also on YouTube. Go like us, go follow, go subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Peace.
Later.